The one on the left is the genuine blue Datejust. The one on the right is the closest looking assembled version. At first glance, I couldn't really tell them apart, which one on the left or right is real or fake, so the easiest way is to open it up and check the movement. This 1263 uses the Rolex 3235 movement. In fact, the simplest way to authenticate, the most straightforward method, is checking the movement. No matter how well made a replica is, or assembled piece, it can't match the genuine movement. Our review is straightforward. We'll teach you how to spot a fake movement in 1 second. No need to overthink it. Just look at the balance bridge. It's instantly obvious, fast and simple. Even if the movement looks nearly identical, this flaw remains nearly impossible to replicate perfectly. I'm Wukong Watch, and I've filmed over 100 genuine Rolex watches, comparing them with assembled models. You might end up liking fakes more, but we're here to change that. Let us know if we haven't covered the model you're curious about. Leave a comment and I'll reply right away. We'll prepare and film the model you want to see. For watch knowledge, authentication tips, follow CO Tao Watch. Now, we've already proven we only use genuine watches for our reviews. Now it's your turn to prove you're serious about learning the real deal. So move your lucky little finger, tap that follow button, hit like and follow. Let's get it done. Now, let's show you how to spot the subtle differences between these two watches. First, both watches look identical in size and overall appearance. Modern casing techniques make this relatively easy to replicate. And as for a model like the Datejust, it is a relatively simple, basic model. There's no special finishing on the steel craftsmanship. The polishing and finishing on the bezel are hard to spot any flaws. And as for the crown details, let's look at the overall look in the bracelet. Even the clasp details match in craftsmanship. If you are a watch enthusiast, I believe that if this assembled watch were placed in front of you, you'd struggle to use your knowledge of the Datejust to tell whether it's real or fake. After all, words alone aren't proof. In our video comparison, it's genuinely hard to see any obvious difference. Previously, we've done authenticity comparisons on several models. Some, like this Datejust, are nearly identical in appearance. For example, the Submariner or the Clam, the Daytona. Models with extremely high similarity. But for some models, even people who don't know much about watches, at a glance without even looking closely, can still spot obvious differences. Like the Blackbird we've covered before, or the White Panda, and others. Now, the distance we're filming at is the typical viewing distance for the naked eye. So the overall size, the Cyclops lens, the color and tone of the blue dial, and the details like hour markers and textures show no visible difference at this distance. Now, if we go a step further and examine the finer details, we need to get much closer for proper inspection. Let's move in closer to tell them apart, presenting the differences through macro photography. You can clearly see there are indeed noticeable differences. For instance, the most appealing feature of this model is actually its blue dial. At a normal viewing distance, there is truly no flaw to spot, but when examined up close, you can see clear differences in the dial's radial texture. The assembled version simply can't match the original in terms of extreme fineness and detail. To make it more concrete, the original blue dial shows a softer, more refined texture under varying light, which appears much smoother and more natural, while the blue dial of the assembled version, when lit up, displays a deeper, more exaggerated texture. Of course, these visual effects vary depending on the angle of light, producing different appearances from different perspectives. During our filming process, we kept the lighting consistent, so under the exact same angle and light source, we can actually spot subtle differences. Now, under normal conditions, relying on memory points or personal experience, it would be extremely difficult to tell the difference if you don't have a side-by-side comparison or a reference piece to judge authenticity based solely on radial texture. As for details like the crown logo and the hour markers, along with the date window and hands, I personally think they've been very well replicated. If we're being extremely picky, the tear shadow engraving on the inner dial ring is also accurately shaped and well executed. These identifying features are nearly impossible to distinguish with the naked eye. In terms of where the differences lie, of course, in our next episode, in our upcoming video, we'll go even deeper, using 30 times M magnification to examine every detail, teaching you how to spot the subtle differences and where to look for them. I am Fu Biao. I've shot over 100 side-by-side comparisons of genuine watches, review of assembled watches. The comparison truly helps you appreciate the real ones more, and the fakes help you understand the differences better. Because fans complained our videos were too long, So now, after editing is complete, we release a preview version for everyone to watch first, with more comprehensive detail comparisons and a richer authentication techniques. These will be gradually covered in our upcoming videos. If we haven't covered the model you'd like to see, feel free to leave us a comment. We'll reply right away, and we'll start preparing a dedicated review just for you.